What?
Tal.
To my most cherished friends.
YouTube, today we are in a new video, and in this case we are going to analyze RACCOON in rank 3. That I have to thank my great friend Abel, who has left us this RACCOON, this little rat in rank 3, that the truth is a very easy character to use with absolutely crazy damage. And you will tell me if this rank 3 is really worth it. I'm already telling you, I've been testing it, that it is totally a character that has some critical hits, very beasts, and above all, the easiest thing is that it is very simple to use. That is why I bring you the video, so that I'm going to show you how fast this character is and the number of critical hits he is capable of throwing with totally enormous damage. But the first thing we're gonna do right now is talk if his unique ability is necessary for the development of the character and friends. In this case, I bring the gameplay without his duplicate, okay? Therefore, what his master coach tells us, always active while the opponent is under the effect of one, duplicates it.
Demolition disadvantage.
It passively affects the joints.
Whenever
the opponent is going to gain life through regeneration, he suffers a power drain disadvantage that drains between 1 and 5% of his power, depending on the amount of singularity. Let's stop at 0.50 seconds for every demolition handicap on it. If the opponent has massive Wrath Mastery, it is eliminated. Rachel's shield system grants her more critical resistance, and while she is latent, Rachel's shield system grants her Master Block X. This CT may also persist while the shielding system is active. Well, friends, oh me, the duplicate is not necessary for this RACCOON, but it is true that it helps him expand his range
in certain fights, particularly when RACCOON is used with demolition.
Well, we are going to be adding a passive power drain disadvantage to the opponent. Therefore, we are going to remove the anticulation and regeneration from the opponent. Therefore, it is not necessary to remove the damage.
RACCOON performs at his peak.
But it is true that it helps you a lot in terms of skills. Okay? In this case, we are going to explore what this character is like without his double. Am I already telling you that it has enormous damage? I haven't said it, but the concentration of statistics that is set is that of critical blow, which is that of force. The criticism which is more likely to hit.
Critical hits the character that has the most strength, so it is the one that suits you best.
This RACCOON to this error that retreats, then you will see that the gameplay is the simplest in the world. You simply have to be sticking
all the time
to generate our scrap loads, like doing that repeatedly.
Are you going to see?
All the way up, you are already seeing that it is in the
little gray icon, which is the
scrap icon, that with each critical hit, it is going to give us scrap. Speak.
Against the
metal characters, as seen in the solitaire game during winter, we will produce more scrap. That's advantageous for us.
Stick against characters who are yung mararon metal, as in this case, because winter is alone, because we are going.
Winning the junk.
Moving faster.
So the gameplay as such, simply,
it's stick and stick and stick. Look, that at the critical level, we simply have to be reaching super attack 2
with the maxims.
Loads than scrap metal, which are 50.
And we have to strike hard as a winter soldier. Well, leave us, you're going to see it, and above all, prevent the winter soldier, that is the opponent, from hitting us, because there he may be taking away 1 quantum of scrap from us, as just happened, but we have just recovered it. Come, please.
He's being a little rebellious on our winter salit. Today, thank goodness, the gameplay is not about speed, but about how I explain how to do it. There we are, hard blow.
We leave that demolition super attack 2 and look at 85,000 damage. With these 2 demolition disadvantages, the damage increases due to the amount of scrap that we have consumed with super attack 2, and look at how that damage from critical hits escalates. 12,008, 1,000. The truth is that he has quite strong critical blows. Let's launch another one again. Super attack 2. Let's see if the winter sunshine leaves us so you can see the last strong blow. Well, the last over attack with those 2 disadvantages. 2,000 and 8,000. I think I've seen RACCOON's over attack. I already tell you that it is super easy to use, and what we are going to test now is how this RACCOON behaves with a class disadvantage, because in theory, in Sanidades, it does not tell us that it has any problem with that class like that. And let's see how it behaves with a class disadvantage. What?
Let's remember that our power is going down.
Of strength? And you are already seeing that it is true that the attack force is decreasing to a great extent, and what I have told you as this character is even metal to us. You are already seeing that with critical hits we are gaining a little less scrap.
You are seeing that against the little soldier in winter because we already had him at 50 scrap at this point in the fight.
But right now we don't have it. Then we hit hard and roll over attack 2, we consume the scrap and do 67,000 damage. Although we are at a class disadvantage, you will also wonder what Super Attack 1 does. Well, Super Attack 1 basically consumes scrap and leaves breakage disadvantages. Okay then?
It might be good for us if we confront you with a character who is not. In the face of this disadvantage, the strength remains unchanged.
Rocket Raccoon lives in the Super Realm.
Attack 2, hard hit, we throw Super Attack 2, and in this case it's not going to be as powerful because we don't have as many scrap loads.
So you can observe the progression of damage.
The escalation is ongoing.
We're gone.
Taking critical hits, watching how he does even more damage, and how we have killed the classic Captain Marvel.
Simple, okay? Now folks, I'm going to show you another rotation that's more derivative for
the long fights.
What is it?
Utilizing Super Attack 3 because with Super Attack 3 we will consume scrap and inflict considerable damage.
Let's add bleeding disadvantage to that.
The truth is undoubtedly bound to claim countless lives.
So let's take a look.
Right now, therefore, we are going to generate.
Same gameplay.
Than before, simply stick and stick and stick, we win ours.
Loads of junk.
As a general rule.
And we're moving towards the
Super Attack 3 with peace of mind. Is this case worth it? I already tell you that it is to go a little further.
Speedily in the...
You fight harder, so to speak.
May they have more life, and that in the end you have to grind.
Life is more serene, alright? No, not too hurried. Hence, that's it.
We have all 50 loads of
scrap metal. See you in Super Attack 3.
Okay, shall we throw it away?
In this case, since we failed the minigame and
what it tells us is that it's going.
Charging his strike force, our RACCOON, that huge gun. With the scrap that
we have, and basically,
there he does.
Damage. And you see how
we have a disadvantage of
drain powers and apart.
We also block his power and leave that bleeding disadvantage.
Performing.
With the Winter Soldier, the truth is that it does a lot of damage, and in this case, we put the blockade on powers again.
And I didn't say it, but did I?
We go backwards, we consume 25 charges of
scrap to get as a kind of zero lock.
As you are already seeing, if we block the attacks, they do us very, very little damage. It is another ability that we can obtain thanks to scrap. But hey, I already tell you that the best thing is Super Attack 2, as you are seeing on the screen, so we are going to go fight. We are already finishing against the Winter Salt. I already tell you that I like the way of use much better, the first one that I have explained to you, simply reaching 50 scrap. We hit hard for those demolitions that we remember that we can be getting a maximum of 5 memory loads too, and we do that.
Tremendous damage, okay? We are now going to try how it is.
Features our Rocket Raccoon against a somewhat longer fight in the Labyrinth of Legends against that Star-Lord.
Okay.
And you will see how strong the character becomes in this case, as I always tell you. I never usually use synergies in my character analysis videos because in the end the character has to shine in itself normally without having to be well enhanced or something like that, so we're going after that Star-Lord.
And let's see how it goes.
We get the gameplay against this character. I had to put in the synergy of Magneto Dynasty X, which is to be able to stop him. But hey, it's okay, we're gonna give him a voucher.
Therefore, we are going to load the
scrap, as they always see with the critical knocks, is going to carry the scrap for us. In this case being Lord, I think it is not. Metal. Therefore, we are not going to load the scrap as quickly as before. Okay, let's probably hit the maximum damage limit of this mace. Legends that are the 50,000, but so that you can see the damage he has. And now I am falling that we are just facing him against Star-Lord friends, against his boss. Is it a successor in the last Guardians movie? Look, 50,000 damage we have reached, so in the end we are going to be quite limited by the amount of damage we can be doing because I have just done 100 of Wendo 108, 1000 damage. So this fight depends a lot, it's going to be slow, but
simply due to the limitation on damage inflicted, however, this allows for visible observation.
What I want to teach you in this fight is,
how's the climb going?
The powerful strikes we execute result in maximum critical damage potential.
Such requirements are essential for swiftly resolving skirmishes.
Battlegrounds or Alliance War style, that's why I tell you that it's totally worth it.
The only problem? What's Rocket got here?
It's just that it doesn't enter the battle with any immunity or anything like that, but otherwise it's quite good, and I already tell you that it duplicates it.
What it does is,
In the end, increase its range of use when we put demolition, because in the end we are putting that anti-coulation and we are going to avoid healing of the opponents who are covered a barbarity or of the nodes that are covered a barbarity. That's why it increases his attack range. Okay, in
this case, you see?
we will add ammunition, thereby introducing the disadvantage of anti-cures. So that you can see that the taps that Rocket is making are quite strong, and the truth is that I like it a lot. But friends like that are limiting us
A lot of damage.
I believe it isn't suitable for extended battles with damage restrictions. Now let's proceed with the video.
And I'm telling you friends that me,
RACCOON is a character that I really like. They gave him a buff.
and whatnot.
That's what this one was called, buff.
But so you can see how beast it is and how easy it is.
Which is to develop it is simply to stick.
Catch,
Stick and stick.
get, and the 50 junk?
Roll a hard hit and roll super attack 2 in a row so you can see those yellow numbers and all that damage it has. So friends, leave me the comments that you think of the kitten that Rocket Raccoon seems to you in rank 3 without her duplicates. But friends, did you like the video?
Is it used?
You are incredibly awesome, and I'll definitely see you in other amazing videos. Bye, take care.